Good morning. This is Mike and Beck from the Trefel Group, and today I have an interesting topic for our viewers and for us. You know, I did an event yesterday at a local university, and a couple of the students were asking about just overall real estate. What do we do? What does an agent do?
Sure.
And it reflects on a topic that a lot of people ask. You know, why do I need a buyer's agent, right? And I thought this is a good conversation for you and I to have.
Great.
You were the lead buyer agents on the team, so you know, what does a buyer agent do, and why you guys should hire a buyer's agent when you're working and looking for a home. So I wanted to open it up and really have a conversation, because I know you do a lot, and a lot beyond what a standard sort of expectation is, right? The expectation is you talk to an agent, you go, well, what's out there? They look on they look at a computer, they look at an MLS, and they find you. So the question comes in is, well, what's the benefit? Why can't I just go to Zillow and do that? So
I think it's a great question, and what you said about going above and beyond is really the truth. What we do, it goes above and beyond. For instance, if I have a buyer and I can't find anything on the MLS,
which often happens, especially in this tight market.
Inventory is low. A lot of my buyers are looking for similar things as well. I can go to neighborhoods. Let's say somebody wants to be here in Fort Lee, Cliffside Park. I'll literally go door to door, door knocking, looking for buyers who may be thinking of selling.
Right.
And the typical person sells every 5 to 7 years, and I'll knock on a door and I'll say, hi, I have a buyer who might be interested in your home. Wanted to know if you're thinking of selling, and we have that conversation and see what I can go above and beyond to find a home for my buyers.
And we do statistic analysis on it too, right?
Sure
I mean, we'll look out and say, well, you're right, 5 to 7 years. So let's pull out the tax record. I mean, some towns are large. Let's pull up a tax record and see who owned a home for 5 to 7 years.
Right, and I can target those homes even more so.
Right, we can send them a letter. And by the way, we don't send out spam mail and things like that. We'll send out a handwritten note and saying, hey, you know, are you thinking about selling? We don't harass people, which is what a lot of people are worried about.
No.
But we are there to help our clients find a home.
Right, we're servicing the buyers, and we're also servicing the people who might be thinking of selling their home.
Right.
We're connecting up. We're brokering two people together.
Matchmaking.
Matchmaking.
You know, we're matchmaking. We're
the ultimate matchmakers.
Right, exactly. You know, with a real estate yenta. So that's what it is, and and that's just one of the reasons. You know, if you're looking at Zillow, and by the way, a ton of stuff on Zillow is already sold, it's already in contract, attorney review, and etc. But that's not the whole market. You know, if you're an investor looking for a specific property, oftentimes things that go to the MLS are not buildable.
They don't have the right return rates of investment.
And I don't mean that for every single one. There's lots and lots of good homes on the MLS, but you know, if you're looking for that fire sale of a deal, those never go to the MLS. You know, that's the connections that we make, knowing the people who are thinking about selling, and then we'll take a builder that is thinking about buying in a neighborhood and connect the two. You know, we'll door knock, we'll mail, we'll connect. One of the deals I just had was a person looking in a specific home, and I found a seller for them within my social network on Facebook. You know, I have a lot of groups, localized groups that we communicate on, and we talk and we share and we're friends with. And you know, sometimes we ask questions there and we find the right person or connections. You know, it's interesting on LinkedIn, it's not your primary connections that are key or the ones that are responsible for things. It's the secondary and the third.
Absolutely.
And social media is the same way, right? It's on Facebook. It's not the friends necessarily. It might be the friends of friends that know somebody or are the ones themselves selling.
So you hear of them looking for something or selling something, and you connect up with something else that's not on MLS yet. It's something you know about, because you've heard about it or talked to somebody.
Right.
Somebody's thinking of selling, and then somebody's thinking of buying that type of home.
I mean,
together.
And that's you know, again, we talk about matchmaking and everything else, but that's what a good agent does. That's what our team strives upon. You know, it's not just the standard. You know, when you have a listing presentation, it's always the 3 Ps, right? Place the sign, place in the MLS, and pray. Well, on the buy side, a lot of times that's how agents work, and it's wrong, and it's just not enough training out there. One of the things that I absolutely love about Keller Williams, and my personal experience with it, is the amount of training that our agents go through, right? So on a typical agent with Keller Williams, after a couple of months, you go through the Ignite, you go through Bold, you go through local training, coaching. There's so much training
Daily
involved
classes, yes.
that, from your standpoint as a potential client, work with us. Talk to Keller Williams agents.
Very educated.
Very educated. Obviously, I want you to talk to us specifically, but overall, there's so much resource available here that I really like, that pushes people beyond, the 3 Ps, let's say. So that's one, right? We find them the properties and everything else. Beyond that, it's probably 50% or less of the actual transaction, and the importance is to actually find the property. What happens afterwards, right?
And all the people that we know, the attorneys, the loan officers, the inspectors, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
People we work with as a team.
I'm reading a book right now that talks about, it's a marketing book, but it really hits the point here where they talk about, salespeople being more, the right salespeople anyway, being more of a guide.
Sure.
Right? The book is about storytelling and what we do, and it fits very much in my own heart where, when we market a home, I always say, look, we tell a story around it, right?
Okay.
When you're a buyer, we build a story around you. Like, what are your wants?
Their
what are your
needs
needs?
and wants, right.
And the interesting thing, this book talks very little about, creating the hero of the story and the guide. And I think what a lot of people forget is they make themselves the heroes, and we don't. Right? We're the guide, and you guys are the hero of the story of buying a home, right? We are the guide to get you there.
We
We're
make
the
it
Yoda
smooth
to
right.
Luke Skywalker type of
Exactly.
thing. And that's how I like working. We're the guide through the whole process. We guide you to find the right home, understand why that might be the right home. And by the way, dream homes, phenomenal, fantastic, great. That's not always the case. Sometimes you always feel like the grass is greener somewhere else. We're there to sort of show you why this home fits really well with all your needs and wants. That's why we make a list analysis of your needs and wants. That we can come back and say, look, you guys have wanted this, this, and this. You wanted those details.
Exactly.
This is the house that has it. It might need a little elbow grease. But then you'll make it perfect and you make it a home. That's what makes a house a home. So if we act as a guide, beyond the point where we find you a property, right? Negotiations, right? How many times have you talked to, the buyer and get them the right deal, and then continue, talking, negotiating, getting them more, and getting them the right terms and everything else. I mean,
right. Some people may want to close fast in 30 days. I mean, they may need 60 or more for various reasons.
Right.
So that's all part of the negotiation
not always the money.
process. No, it's not the money. No, that's part of it.
Right.
So.
Absolutely, it's part of it. And then, what happens then? What's the next steps? I have buyers that never bought before. They go, well, what do I do now? What paperwork do I need to organize? They get lost. And with us, we have the guidelines, we have the roadmap that we put together, of step by step. We're there, step by step, and we're not just there from the beginning to closing. Quite often we're there beyond that. We build relationships with our clients for years to come. We're there to guide you all the way through, and you know what? We don't disappear after closing. If you need us afterwards, if you need a handyman, if you need anything else, we're there for you as well.
A client invited me over tonight for coffee.
Yeah.
So that's just
exactly, which is parts of the job.
Right, exactly. So.
Although we'll probably take them out. But why wouldn't you work with a buyer's agent?
I like to remind everybody that buyer's agents are free.
Yeah, exactly.
And we work hard for you. We're getting paid by the seller when they sell their house, and we're free. And
right.
That's a win-win if you ask me.
It's an absolute win-win, and that's why, by the way, you need to sign a buyer's agreement when you're working with the buyer's agents, because while they get paid by the seller, right, the buyers don't bring an extra commission for their agent, but you do need a buyer agency agreement in order for us to have the fiduciary right to you. Please remember that if you don't, you basically represented, the buyer's agent and the seller agents are working for the seller. You want to have the contract done. So while you're not paying them, the representation needs to be done the right way.
Working on their behalf. Working hard on their behalf.
Exactly. But since you're not paying, why wouldn't you have a good agent working for you? Why not use the resources? This is what we do for a living, and we're professionals at it, right? It's same thing as a lawyer. It's the same thing as a doctor. We study, we educate ourselves, and we're there to help you get the job done and do it successfully.
Exactly.
So it always surprises me when people say, no, I don't want to work with a buyer's agent. Why wouldn't you?
Right.
It's the resource. It's like...
It's like having another professional you work with, an attorney you want to work with for reasons, or
Yeah.
a landscaper, or anybody. You hire a professional
Correct.
to work with you.
Can you do your own lawn? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think we're a little more than the landscaper, but still, are you going to plant everything? Are you going to do everything yourself? Fine. But if you don't have to pay that landscaper, why wouldn't you hire them, right? Or attorneys. Do you really want to go to court by yourself?
Exactly.
And can you do it? In theory, maybe. Why would you, though? Why take that chance? Why take that risk? Why disadvantage yourself so much when you have a great team out there that can go beyond the MLS, they can go beyond Zillow, and help.
Michael, talking about going beyond, we have our whole office that we connect with also.
Yeah.
Everybody has things.
Yeah,
that
we have a portfolio
about.
inside as
Huge
well.
Portfolio.
We have buyers that are looking for places, and we have sellers, off-market sellers that are just thinking they don't want to put their place in the market, but if the deal comes along, they're willing to sell. We have that, and without reaching out to us,
they would not find it.
You're shortchanging yourself.
Right.
You're not going to see everything that's out there.
Correct.
So work with a good buyer's agent. We'll leave it at that for today. I think it's a good show. And again, work with the right buyer's agents. They go way beyond the MLS and the Zillow out there, and work as a good guide to get you all the information that you need. If you like what you heard, here's what I want you to do next. Reach out to the Trefel Group at trefelgroup.com or on Facebook, and we'll be happy to help with all your real estate needs. If you're thinking about buying, selling, investing, or even working in real estate, reach out to us and we'll have a conversation and get you on the way to success.